All right, welcome everybody to the channel. Today we're gonna go and talk about 319 Roadmap Roundup. So this just came out. How long ago? What, like maybe 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago,
Ab-
something like that.
About that, yeah. 20
So
minutes at the most.
it's not that big of an update, but it is something. So this might not be that long of a video, but we're going to go over and read it and talk about it a little bit, what we think, if it's good or bad. And yeah, so today I got with me Shadow Spectre 11 from the Snowbirds meeting room, and
Hello.
we're gonna go ahead and start. So
Alrighty.
right up at the top says Happy Wednesday, everybody. Every 2 weeks we accompany the roadmap update with a brief explanatory note to give you insight into the decision making that led to any changes. Okay, so we don't need to read that. Notable changes for February 8th. Alpha 319. The upcoming release of Alpha 318 brings important advancements to the technology behind Star Citizen. The highlight of this update is persistent entity streaming, which represents a monumental effort from our engineering teams. We are eager to share this update with more players soon and are thrilled about the improvements it will bring. To ensure server and client stability in Alpha 318, both before and after launch, our team has decided to extend the 318 branch for an extra patch cycle. So that's some big news right there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of thought, or I wouldn't have thought this was going to happen myself personally, but as somebody that watches a lot of other bigger Star Citizen streamers out there, most of them have been going out there saying that this would happen, essentially, most likely happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of, I'm already kind of mentally prepared for that. And plus, I mean, honestly, thinking about the year and thinking about last year, how that went, we've only gotten really that one patch last year. So it would kind of make sense that this would happen this year. And 318 really is a huge patch, and they do need to really get the foundation of PES down.
Yeah, they got to
So,
flush it out.
yeah, so, I mean, to me, when I think about it, it does make sense. And I'm not upset, really.
No, not at all. I'd rather them get the foundation solid and, stable enough for everybody to be in it without a whole lot of 30Ks and whatever, and build on that to 4.0
Mm-hmm.
or a 320
Yeah,
if they do it.
I agree. Let's see. This will allow us to address any issues that may arise as a result. Um, the next update following the release of 318 will come before Invictus launch week and will feature a variety of new and exciting content you can read about below. Although this update will be designated 319, it will be built on the 318 codebase. Our production teams are currently evaluating the feasibility of integrating originally planned 319 content into the Alpha 318 branch. And I'm totally cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's, we're still getting the content that they kind of really want to give us. So I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah. And see, they may add, they were talking about Arena Commander going into 319 anyway. So they may add that to the card.
Um,
Originally, they were talking about 319 going to Arena Commander going in the 319 run.
okay. Our production teams are currently Oh, we already read that. I'm about
Mm-hmm.
to go repeat stuff. Release view. The following cards have been added to Alpha 319 column on release view. Lorville Cityscape. Reworking the Lorville city line to better fit and scale of the city and its distinctive buildings. So they've already kind of like hinted and showed us a lot of the Lorville cityscape. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy about that. I'm glad that's still coming out.
Yeah, but like we had talked about this before. We had thought that it was going to drop in 319.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, now that this 318 branch is going to be the new 319,
mm-hmm.
you know, it makes sense as long as we're still getting it. The only thing we don't really want to see is delays, you know.
Right. At this point, yes.
So they did say they wanted this with 319, and we're still going to get it, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to provide a lot more opportunity within Lorville, a lot more exploration, a lot more landing zones within Lorville, new missions and stuff, which we'll get into here in a minute. Um, the new player experience. So this is a big one.
Yeah.
Initiative for improving the initial first 30 minutes gameplay experience, which will help players understand the context of the world and to introduce them to some of Star Citizen's basic features. This update focuses on the experience in Area 18 and Bajini Point.
The perfect place for new players, as far as I'm concerned.
I think they really,
Everything is there.
yeah, everything is there. And when you think about performance hits within the game,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much all the other landing zones are major performance hits. And Area 18 is the one I think that is the most gentle on everybody's PCs. And
Originally, well, I have to say this. In 315, 316, when I first started playing, I avoided Area 18 like the plague. The reason why, the main reason why, is every time I went there, I would get this massive desync flag come up on my screen. And once it loaded in and everything set up, then it was fine after that.
mhm,
But I stayed away from it until 317, and that's when it smoothed out. I didn't get the big desync error anymore.
right. See, I had at the time when I first started out, I had a really bad PC, so it didn't matter where I went, everything goes bad.
Right, right.
Um, Somehow I still played. I don't know. I don't know how I did it, but yeah. So I think what I really want them to come out and tell us now. I'm sure we'll get at ISC or SC Live about it here at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
we need to know uh what is considered, the initial 30 minutes. Like what do they want you to learn within that first 30 minutes or expect you to be able to learn within that first 30 minutes of getting into the game? Because that could just be basic controls, that could just be, maybe like
Getting out of bed,
giving
stuff
you
like that.
like a little marker of how to get
Mm-hmm.
to the terminals.
Mm-hmm.
um we really need to see what it's going to consist of, and then the fact it's only at Area 18 Bajini Point.
Mm-hmm.
um it's definitely going to be the tier 0 of the new player experience. So
Agreed.
from what they're saying here, I would expect that throughout next iterations of the patch, hopefully we're going to be getting an expansion to the new player experience. So, but at least there
Mm.
is something.
Yeah.
um but also what I want to know is, if it's only at Area 18, what are they going to do to inform new players to encourage them to pick Area 18 for that new player experience? Because what happens if they go to like Lorville or Orison for their first?
Or Microtech. Same thing.
So
Yeah.
either they would have to funnel all the new players to Area 18 for
Mm-hmm.
their to go through their new player experience, where your first home, you don't get to pick it, you have to go there. Or
Mm.
it's either that, which I don't agree with. I
No,
don't think they should, because it's
I
about
don't.
player freedom, right? The
Yeah.
new player should be able to pick whatever they want. Um,
Well, this may be just the first iteration, you know?
yes, it's obvious, obviously a first iteration into it, but um,
So
yeah,
they'll
it's kind of.
probably, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's just kind of sad that it's only Area 18 and Bikini Point. So I'm
Mm,
really what I'm worried about is for the people that pick anything else, are they not going to get that experience? You know,
yeah,
the new player experience. Is it going to
agreed.
be skipped for them? You know, so
Mm-hmm.
we need to know
Mm-hmm.
more.
Yeah, because
Um,
I would like to see it in all areas,
mhm.
to be totally honest.
It will at some point,
Yeah,
but I
I
feel
think
like
this is the test.
when it comes to the new player experience, I really wish they would have just focused on finishing the new player experience, or at least getting it to a point where you can have them at all landing zones, major landing zones,
Mm-hmm.
before putting it out, not just putting it in one spot, because I
Yeah,
think that's a bad idea. Depending on
yeah,
how they go about it, we'll see.
yeah,
So,
I agree.
but it kind of does sound like they are going to funnel them all the new players to Area 18 as um their first, home essentially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, what's up, E-Man and Rick Sanchez? Thanks for joining us. You
Oh.
you guys don't call me in these discussions anymore. uh, we'll call you in, man. You're welcome to come in.
Let me
We need
get
your
in
salty views, E-Man.
there.
We need to have that balance of salty views, and because me and Shadow are typically a little bit more on the positive side. Uh, yeah, Rick. So we're just going over the 319 roadmap roundup. You didn't really miss much. We're kind of talking about the Lorville cityscape. Um, essentially, they're moving the cards from the 319 branch and moving it to the 318 branch. So this is what we're getting with like a 318.1 patch right before Invictus. So that's pretty much where we got so far. Uh, someone just dropped a bunch of stuff in the background. Sorry to anybody that heard that. But anyways, um, yeah, the new player experience, it's only going to be 30 minutes long, and it's only going to be at Area 18 and Bikini Point for its initial release. Um, we're just going to have to know more. As from what we know right now, I'm not too happy about that. I think it needs to be more than that, unless they funnel everybody at Area 18. Um, all right, moving on to new missions and salvage contracts.
Here we go.
With more civilian access to salvage ships, contract brokers are offering salvage jobs for derelicts around Lagrange points around Stanton. These brokers charge a fee for their services, so this will require some buy in, but the contractors are free to keep and salvage material for resale. So they did talk about this in the last Star Citizen Live,
Mm-hmm.
and this is pretty exciting. So, but they also talked about in the live the not just the salvage missions, the mining missions as well, asteroid mining missions. But it's kind of sad that we don't see that here with this.
Yeah.
But
Got a question from Rick.
mhm.
What does extending the 318 patch cycle mean? That we have to wait longer till 318 or more time with 318
it
out?
means they're taking the cards, anything that was like these that are listed right here for the release view. They're taking that from 319 and they're moving it to 318.1. And 318.1 is going to be the patch right before Invictus coming up here soon in the next couple months or so. Um, it just means that 318 is going to be is the schedule for 318 is scheduled a little bit longer throughout the year before 319 actually hits. So Um,
Oh, 318 PTU patch notes are out too.
oh, okay. We can go over those too. Um, so yeah, the salvage contracts. That's pretty much exactly what they said. They kind of just said that you're gonna get, um, you know, the right to you're gonna get coordinates to where the salvage is, and there's gonna be a legal mission and an illegal mission. So the legal mission, you go there and you just salvage, right, and then you can go sell. The illegal mission is gonna be probably from somebody like Rudo. I think it's a new guy though. I don't remember what the company is. I think it's called like the Tar Pits Company,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember. And that company, essentially, they just get information about, maybe like a battle that just happened, and the authorities are on their way there. So you're gonna have like it's gonna be timed mission. You have like an hour before the authorities get there to be able to salvage whatever's there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you don't make it, then you're going to have a firefight on your hands with security forces. So that's going to be really fun to do, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're getting more salvage missions this early on. I think
Yeah,
it's
that was quick.
yeah, it's definitely needed. Um, I am a little bummed out that we don't see the mining missions yet, but that could be in a further update soon after this.
Yeah, I have a feeling those will be coming soon. But this is good where they're putting missions with a new loop
Yeah,
because salvage is new, and that's pretty quick that they're doing that.
yeah. Well, I think they really want salvage to be fun for people. They want to give people something to do with the new game loop. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty happy that they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um okay, let's move on. New missions, Ghost Hollow PvP mission. Adding a new mission type to the Ghost Hollow point of interest in the Stanton system, making use of the comm array as well as AI nav mesh. This mission type will create PvP encounters where players will need to fight for control over terminals for a chance at big credit payouts. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Um, they're trying to turn every big location now into a PvP hot zone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, again, I'm not a big PvP person, but I
Right.
am glad it's another new thing for people to do.
Yeah.
The says making use of the comm array and AI nav mesh.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the show?
Yes. It's Mrs. Shadow.
Alrighty, man. See ya. See you when you get
Oh,
back.
Everybody.
she's saying hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Mrs. Shadow.
I'll be there in a minute. Okay. So what's up?
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering because they say it's going to make use of the comm array and AI nav mesh, but this is a PvP mission. So what about the AI nav mesh is going to get used if it's a PvP mission? So does that mean that there's going to be AI enemies or friendlies involved in this PvP mission? So it's going to be a mix between PvE and PvP? I'm not entirely
Who
sure.
knows, man? Who knows?
Either
So
that,
many things. Yeah.
there's other things that the AI nav mesh could be used for as well,
Mm-hmm.
other than just the NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just have to see what that kind of means, I guess.
Okay.
Take control over terminals. So I wonder what those terminals are. Maybe it's just like data. Because when you look at like the Black Kite mission, right,
Yeah.
on the Reclaimer, you have to
Yeah.
go get the what is it, the hacking chip or whatever it is, and you got
The
to enter it in
encryption chip.
the encryption
Yeah.
chip, and put it into and upload the data or download the data from a server.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something like that, and then you got to take that to somewhere and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but that's good though. I'm glad we're getting something else for Ghost Hollow. And then it says progress tracker. Due to some format changes to the data we use for progress tracker, our update for both upstream and downstream teams in 2023 needs a bit more time to get sorted.
Not yet. Yeah, I'll come. Okay.
You can expect these updates to come in subsequent publishes. Okay?
Mm.
So, yeah. What are your thoughts on everything so far?
Um, the Lorville cityscape is going to be that's pretty huge. Um, I we all kind of expected it to come in 319.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the new player experience, they said they were working on this last year, and Area 18 to me is the best place for a new player to start.
Mm-hmm.
But just like you said, they need the option to go to other places if they want, and that should be put into each landing zone, not just Area 18. But this might be just a test to see how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I agree with you. I want to see it in other places as well. Uh,
I
New
am.
missions for salvage. Yeah, go.
Oh, no, go ahead. Continue.
The new salvage missions. We're still in tier 0 of it, so giving it more to do with the vulture is that's the start of your career path, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and build your rep up. Um,
I think this is their way of kind of building out salvage a little bit more, because when you look at salvage compared to mining, there's so much more to do with mining, and it's a little bit more complicated than salvage is. Salvage is very simple right now,
yeah.
and so it makes sense that they would build out those missions first,
Mm-hmm.
because they're trying to give you more to do with it,
Yeah.
because it's it can get a little boring after a while. It's very relaxing and it's still kind of fun,
Mm-hmm.
but when you're out there kind of just numbing out to it, it does get boring after a while, and there is going to be a point where you're going to get burnt out on salvage, and
Yeah.
you're going to wish it was a little bit more complicated at times.
But
So,
I'm just glad they're putting a mission in with it now,
mm-hmm,
you know,
yep,
to flush it out more and make it more interesting. I think that's a good idea.
yeah, and that's all they really
Uh,
can do until they decide to flesh out salvage and make it a little bit more
well, with
of a system.
the munching and 319, I hope to see the SRB,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to bring uh the salvage even better. When you can take a ship or wherever and get a mission to bring asteroids or a ship into the area, get paid for doing it. You take off. Here come the salvagers.
Yeah, and we
You
talked
know
about
what I
that on
mean?
the podcast too.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Let's see. Ken
Hey, Ken
says
Claudio.
new update patch for PTO has dropped. Yeah, we'll go over that one too. We'll go
Yeah,
over that here once we get done talking about the roadmap
the
roundup here.
SR the SRV will allow us to haul away the wrecks in front of the hangars.
Yeah. Well,
That's true.
well, think about also not just the hangars, but issue I've been seeing is a lot of the racetracks. I've been really getting into
Yes.
that. I had been running into other people's wrecks, and
Mm-hmm.
it'd be nice if they had a mission that would pop up whenever anybody wrecks in certain locations that get clustered like that,
Yeah.
where someone can go over with a SRV and move those wrecks out of the way. You know, it would highlight those wrecks for them, and they just
Yep.
move it somewhere else. You know, maybe bring it to a junkyard or something. That would be pretty fun.
I would love to get in the SRV, take a ship, and take it to one of the salvage yards on Yella or wherever, or I think it's Silo or Euterpe, and be able to take it and sell the wreck.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think you
that
should
would
be
be
able to.
cool.
Yeah, I agree
That
with
would
you.
be cool.
I kind of want to go back up to the top here and reread
Okay.
this because I'm kind of getting a different view of it now that I'm kind of like
Okay.
peeking at it again. Um, let's see. Upcoming release for 318 brings important advancements to Star
Mm-hmm.
Citizen. The highlight of the update is persistent entity streaming, and which represents a monumental effort of our engineering teams. We are eager to share this update with more players soon, and thrilled about the improvements it'll bring. To ensure server and client stability in 318 both before and after launch, our team has decided to extend the 318 branch for an extra patch cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for anybody that missed it, um, it'll essentially just go right up to Invictus because another patch cycle is like 2-3 months, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not too long. Um, and then it says this will allow us to address any issues that may arise. And it's funny because
Mm-hmm.
you told me, well, who was it, Board Gamer or somebody that said that it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
coming out until March or something. 318.
Yeah, Board Gamer and Zen did a thing on it today.
Yeah.
They had their podcast, and they're I can't say that they're actually saying that that's going to happen. You know, we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the prediction now because we're still in wave 2.
Yeah.
We haven't even hit open PTU yet. So, if it passes the middle of the month, and here we go into the end of February, and we're still not in open PTU, you know,
Yeah. We're
I'm
we're
just,
we're chugging along February already, so
yeah, I
um,
mean, I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let it go.
yeah, that's all we can really do. Um, yeah, I just want to get in there with my friends. You know, I have everybody else in my org. They don't have the PTU, so we can't play. But um,
I am not going to tow away your C8R while you're in a bunker.
why? You'll get the money for it.
No, I'm not that. I'm not like that.
You'll
And
get
then
paid.
well, you did lock up and, and turn on the ship alarm. Gonna, gonna, gonna need to have a buddy outside to watch your ship. I usually have the engine off and leave the door open as well. Oh, you asking to get jacked? But anyway, go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Um, let's see. The next update following the release of 318 will come before Invictus launch week and will feature a variety of new and exciting content you can read about below, um,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be the 318.1. Um, although this update will be designated Alpha 319, it will be built upon. Oh, so they're still going to call it 319.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be 318.1. See, I had to go
Nope.
reread this.
Nope. There's no 318.1. It's going to be 319.
Yeah. It will be built, yeah, on 318 code base. Our production teams are currently evaluating the feasibility of integrating originally planned 319 content into Alpha 318 branch. Okay, so we're still getting 319 content in 318. So It just essentially means nothing is delayed because 318 is going to be out a little bit longer. It doesn't mean that we got to wait any longer for 319 content.
Yeah.
Um, the items we are adding to the release view today are subject to change and additions. I think we will get some additions. So as far as additions, even in the chat, what does everybody want to see added to this release view in the future? Because I know there's going to be at least a couple things added to this. What do you think, Shadow?
Well, well, definitely, I want to see ships. I want to see a ship.
SRV is
Uh,
what you want to see.
Yeah,
That's the one that you
and
really want to see.
yeah, and I also want to see the X1. I would love to see that.
Mm, well, they are going to have some ships for Invictus, of course.
Of
And
course.
when you think about last year's Invictus,
Hmm.
we got the Vulture in there for the what was it, Drake Defense Con? It
Yeah,
was on
where you could
Orson.
walk into it and
It
check it out. Yeah,
it was at Orson, and you could
mm.
actually walk around the Vulture and take a look at it, like you said.
And
So
then
it
you
could
got the
be
Mule
for the
and the Scorpius.
yeah. So we could potentially see the SRV out there for Invictus for us to at least walk around, if anything, you know. So I mean, they could do that for that.
Hmm.
Um,
But
Explosion says they're gonna add a lot more in the upcoming weeks. I'm sure. A few surprise interior locations at Lorville or some rework to the existing location, not just the skyline.
pretty
Uh,
cool.
just a small bit. I know they plan on doing a more extensive rework later for Lorville because they're redoing the whole thing right now. The whole cityscape is that's everything.
Yeah,
So
that's everything. And I think including a few interiors. I don't know. I want the G12 for my 600i Explorer. I got it IE. But since they talked about the rework, no 600i changes for at least 2 years, aka soon TM. Um, I, as far as I know, and they may be working on the rework. I don't know if it's scheduled in the progress tracker, but we know that the concept art is done. So if they started on it, that would be cool. Oh, bring back Tessa, Tessa Bannister. Everybody's saying bring back Tessa Bannister as a mission giver.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go and check out who she is because I don't know. I don't think I was there for that. But now that Explosion said something about Lorville, I'm like rereading it again. See,
Mm-hmm.
this is how CIG can be kind of deceptive, right? Because people see Lorville cityscape and they automatically think in their head it's going to be the full new Lorville rework. But when you look at it, it says reworking the Lorville skyline to better fit the scale of the city and its distinctive buildings. So, does that actually mean the entire rework or just a part of the rework?
Yeah, we don't know.
Because it could be either or based on their wording. Because they're kind
Mm-hmm.
of making it seem like it's only a part of it, but
Yeah,
I don't know why they would do that. Just release the whole thing as it's done.
yeah, just
You
go
know,
for it.
I'm tired of these
Yeah,
little chunks, so hopefully that's not what it means.
yeah, I
Um,
agree.
says Ken says I'm new. I never got to meet Tessa. New as
Yeah,
of July free fly. Oh, okay. Well, welcome.
yeah, he's
Welcome.
still pretty new. I've never met Tessa Bannister either, so
You're not
I've
alone.
heard I've heard so much about this mission giver, and when she disappeared, everybody was like in an uproar about Tessa. And when they mentioned mission givers in the SCL, the first thing that was in the chat, Jared said, "Bring back Tessa,
Hmm.
bring back Tessa." So it's like, we'll see. Don't know.
Well, it wasn't Jared. I think it was either someone in the chat or it was
Well,
one
somebody
of
in
the
the
people in
chat,
the bar or something like that.
yeah, I think it was somebody said, "Bring back Tessa" in the chat,
Yeah.
and Jared was just mentioning it. So,
Uh, you know what they haven't mentioned for a while? The Aaron Halo Belt Gateway, the massive structure that's supposed to funnel all traffic to the outer parts of the system. I don't think
mm,
we would get that until, if we even get that, I don't know, because they could always change the lore for that, right? But I'm not too familiar with the Aaron Halo Belt Gateway.
me
I've
neither.
seen I've seen some of the pretty incredible concept art for it, and I know there's been talks on Reddit, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much. I'd have to read up on that, but it would be cool to see them talk about that. And but I don't see that as being something because I know it's a massive structure, and it's got a lot of lore built into it. So that seems like it's a lot of work for them. So I could see that coming maybe after 4.0, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, because yeah, I think I've seen this topic being brought up on Reddit so many times, especially in the last 2 years, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but let me go ahead and bring up um
Notes.
yeah, patch notes. Let me see here. I think I might mess up your webcam here because I got to click off, but it will come back.
No worries.
It will come back. Let's see. That's the launcher patch notes. Hmm. Here we go. There we go. And you're back. Cool. All right.
I've got mine up too. So
Kind of move things around a little bit so everybody can see a little bit better. There. So we're still in wave 2.
mm-hmm.
Let's see. Same old testing focus, nothing new there. Known issues. Let's look at bug fixes first, because those are the important things that everybody wants to know about first before we get into known issues, because those haven't changed really. Multi-vehicle vehicles destroyed ship thrusters will still not function after being repaired. Okay, I haven't run into that too much. Um,
No.
Mining FPS gem shards are cleaned up and vanish when multiple deposits are shattered. Okay, I've had that issue plenty of times. Controls Alt K binding will not retract vehicle spindle. I have not had that issue, but good, that's
Well,
fixed for people.
the whole the whole A, they did not remove that from game and the Scorpius, from what I gather. They took out the Corsair, the Cutter, and the C8R.
Okay,
So the whole A and the Scorpius should still be in game.
okay. Do you remember why they took them out? Did they say why?
The only thing that I heard is that those ships came out at CitizenCon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted the 90 day um the 90-day exclusivity for people that bought the ship.
Right.
So they put them in, and from what I hear, they took them out because that wasn't they were just under the 90 days and they took them out. So there's a lot of controversy about that right now
Hmm.
because people are a little upset that they took those ships out. And
Yeah, I know Salty Mike. I saw a little bit of his video, and he's upset because he thinks it's kind of like a marketing scheme.
mhm,
It's just a theory, right?
yeah,
But he thinks it's a marketing scheme for Invictus, essentially,
yeah.
to get some more
But
sales out of it.
how can that be a marketing skill for Invictus? Those ships were announced and released, right?
Hmm.
At CitizenCon. It's been over a 3 month period
There we go. It's a little bit better.
since they've been out, right?
Yeah.
So they're in 317. So when 318 drops, those ships will be over 3 months old.
What's up, Rios?
Hey
Glad you popped
Rios.
in. Yeah.
So you get what I mean? I don't understand that, but I'm not CIG, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think the bottom line is we don't really know what their intentions are because they don't talk about it, and even when they
Yeah.
talk about it, we don't know if they're stretching the truth or, how true they are about it, about their statements. I don't agree with
Oh,
Mike. He thinks someone came up with a scheme after adding them. Yeah. Realistically, it was just someone accidentally added the wrong ships. I'm sure that's what it is.
maybe.
I don't want to sit here and start thinking that CIG is trying to manipulate people on purpose for certain things. I don't think they're that malicious. I really don't. I think they just have a different mindset, being the developers, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't think like us because they don't play the game like we do, and it's not their fault for that. They have to think the way that they do, and not all the time are they going to make the right decisions because, again, they don't think like us.
Right.
So there's going to be things that they don't really initially understand when they do something, how it's going to affect us,
Mm-hmm.
until we reach out to them and kind of complain a little bit or critique them about it. So,
Well, all I know is there's a whole lot of drama going on about that
oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, I've seen it. I'm afraid to go on like Reddit or Spectrum.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. Okay. The only thing I want to see is patch notes and the roadmap roundup, and that's it.
Okay,
You know.
other things fixed. Mercenary missions. Protect sites, remaining hostile NPCs not spawning in. VFX, the Drake Vulture is missing countermeasure VFX. That's fixed, apparently.
Mm, mm.
Locations, the Klesher Rehabilitation Facility escape route is missing textures and has gray boxes. Oh, okay. Spawning ships causes the requested ship to spawn outside of the hangars.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Th- I got that in when I was doing Xenothreat,
Uh huh.
and I, I had my ships there, and when I went to respawn, take them out of storage, they would spawn the um, outside of the station, and I had to reclaim it,
Uh huh.
and it still wouldn't come back.
Oh
So yeah,
no, that
that's
was
a
a big
big one.
issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Uh, Rio.
Rios, when do you think 318? End of this month or April? I'm not going to speculate on that.
Well, you
We're
can
still
you can
in
give a guess. Give a
we're
guess.
still in wave two. We're still in wave two. Okay. When I see the stability of this patch, and they say we're going to wave three, that's going to make a big difference.
You know,
That's going to make a big
I would
difference.
love to sit here and say, by the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to stick to. That's what I want to believe in my head. But the fact
Right.
is, like you said, it's only speculation. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Yeah, it's honestly, when it comes to things speculating on what CIG will do in the future, it is extremely hard to get it right. More often than not, you're going to get it wrong. I think the only thing you're really going to get right is uh, just in general, it might get delayed.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Jumped into the PTU and taking my Red Alert Artemex armor for a bunker, and its scarf has a life of its own.
It was a big, long, like cape, wasn't it?
Well, that's what happens with the if you guys have seen the parasite helmets.
Mm,
The actual parasite inside the helmet will kind of branch out like that too. So it does
mm,
happen with other stuff too.
okay. Um, Next fix. Uh,
The
multi.
docking.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Something in AC. Elimination. Echo 11. Spawn points are placing players within the geometry. Star Marine elimination. Player may be able to reach out of bounds areas. Okay. Fixed. Klesher. Law system. Terminal. Mind ores are worth 1/10 of their, intended merit value. Drake Vulture salvage beams stay on when entering the armistice zone. And actor feature in Klesher, players are unable to leave prison after taking elevator to surface level. Okay.
So
So those go ahead.
you missed the docking one. A retrieved ship delivered to a docking port will be missing collision. So that's not too big of a deal, but there's
Yeah.
that. Um, I wanted to kind of also to go along with the 319 roundup. There
Mhm.
are, I got some notes here. I'm taking a look at. Um,
Okay. Sync
they
3H
said they
3K
said along
pirates. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
they said along with racing and like Arena Commander and Star Marine
Mm-hmm.
that pretty much there's going to be the all those quality of life fixes that they were mentioning. They're going to be working
Yes.
on, so those should be out, and then also the new maps that
Mm-hmm.
they stated. So I'll kind of go off, uh, read off a little bit of what I've written down from them that we're probably going to end up getting for 319. 12 new racetracks, one ground vehicle racetrack, new racing dynamic event that's lap
Mm-hmm.
based multiplayer. Um, that dynamic event will have two new ship tracks, and that's the one that'll also have the ground vehicle map. And you're only going to be able to enter with a specific ship
Mm-hmm.
so that everybody's kind of on an equal playing ground, I guess. Um, yeah, and then along with that, a lot of the quality of life fixes that'll hopefully get people back into Arena Commander and Star Marine. If they could get Star Marine working to where it's actually fun, I will be
Mm-hmm.
playing that a lot.
I
Whenever
want to try it.
because the arena commander and the Star Marine has really good potential to be the solution to people when they're in the PU and the patch is just like a really crappy patch.
Mm-hmm.
Your fix to that temporarily is to go into Arena Commander or Star Marine and have your fun there until they fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You still got something to do.
Yeah.
And so with them branching that out and making it better, I think, and the fact that you can actually practice racing and it'll be a complete mirror to how it performs in the PU. The fact that
I
you can
think
practice in there, it's going to be pretty cool.
it's a
Assuming it'll
good
work.
idea.
Yeah. So they have a new team dedicated for that now. So it used to be the ship teams that fixed Arena Commander. That's why nothing was getting done with Arena Commander or Star Marine. So they
Well, they
have
didn't have time, you
no, they
know.
didn't, or enough people to work on it. But
Yeah.
now they have a dedicated team for Arena Commander and Star Marine, so they can make those changes and actually actively make it fun. So that's pretty exciting.
Okay. C Rios, you think 318 will be bigger for pirates?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's already there.
This whole
You got to
year.
remember. Yeah, you got to remember that in 318 your ship can be disabled, okay? You can be boarded and you have to fight off people. Some people just go ahead and blast the daylights out of you and whatever so they can get whatever they want. But eventually, and wasn't that in SCL where they were the missions team were talking about we are going to make it where you will not get a crime stat for defending
Yep.
yourself and defending your ship.
They said they are going to
That
be working on making defending your ship an actual thing that's fun.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing
I'm glad they're
because you
focused on it.
should, yeah, you should not get a crime stat for defending yourself or defending your ship.
Absolutely not.
So I totally agree with that.
Hmm. This whole year is going to be massive for pirates and anybody kind of around that kind of thing.
uh, Explosion. Pirates will tremble at the sight of my Polaris. For now, it would just have to be a ship I own with the name Polaris inscribed on the outside.
I was gonna say, good luck trying to find that Polaris.
Right? I'm impressed. A player boarded my defender, and I hit self destruct before we left Area
He's
18.
gonna
I was able to press charges and did not lose my Artemex armor.
Explosion's gonna name his Mustang the Polaris. That's what he's gonna do.
Right? But I mean, it's I'm just waiting for all the cool stuff to come. You know, I like we said in earlier podcasts, keep your expectations low because you don't know what's gonna what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
You don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Did we read off the rest of the fixes?
Yeah,
Okay. I guess
I did.
we'll go
I read
into
through them.
we'll go into some of the known issues and see kind of like what are some of the blockers. Um, Docking. The snub fighter lacks interaction prompts to enter it, making it unusable. That has been going on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think before 318 too. In 317, I remember trying to access the snub fighters
Mm-hmm.
within the constellation, and I couldn't do it. It wouldn't let me.
Yeah. Um, and Wallace Klim is missing from the drug lab in
I don't
Grimhex.
even know who that is.
I've never done. He's a mission giver.
There's a drug lab in Grimhex. Did I?
Did I
Where is
miss
that at?
something? Yeah, me too. I don't know.
What? I'm gonna have to go find him now. Well, obviously, I'm not gonna find him because he's missing.
Yeah, right.
But okay, looted ammo clips drop off player. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not good. Um,
I've had the issues of not being able to even equip ammo clips.
mhm.
There's that, but that's different.
Yeah. When I was doing the platform missions, you know,
Hmm.
and I was running low on ammo, and I went to loot one of the NPCs, and they fell to the ground.
Okay.
So yeah.
That is a known issue.
A big caveat to as somebody who waits to play the patch until it goes to all backers is that you get to miss all these.
Mm.
So, but I'm glad that
Um,
you've encountered some of these, so that way you can kind of like talk about it a little bit.
definitely this one. The audio for the QT travel, yes, that has
I
been an
have
issue.
that has been a long time issue.
Yeah. And okay, hull scraping. Any full salvage RMC canister attachment will not attach
Mm-hmm.
to the multi tool in
That's a big
salvage
one.
mode. That's a big one.
I still to this day have not been able to actually use the multi tool to gather RMC into the canister and actually use it
Or
to repair.
repair the ship. Yeah.
It just, whenever I've tried it in the past, I've tried it probably about 6 times, 5 or 6 times, and hasn't worked. And I've done them all each on different patches. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a shame they can't get that right.
Yeah.
Scanning not
Uh,
showing advanced statistics and details.
mm-hmm.
That's been a long time thing too.
Yeah. Transit elevators and trams jittery during transit of player character. That's it's gotten better than what it was, but
S-
it's still there.
Something I want to bring up too is during last week's ISC, or I think it was ISC, they were saying how, oh, also on live, they were saying how what they didn't expect was, so for instance, they thought they fixed elevators, right?
Yeah.
But what was happening was that broken elevator was actually persisting, because
Yeah.
the persistence doesn't just affect what
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
do and encounter. It's the entire game. So whenever anything is broken, that broken elevator actually persists, and
Right.
it tries and it sits in the same spot as that new elevator. So what they have to do is they have to purge the servers in order
Yeah.
to fix it. But it's only a temporary fix, because once that elevator breaks again,
Yeah.
it's still going to persist.
Right.
So, and they were talking about how they weren't really prepared for that. They didn't know that was going to happen. And it's the same thing with the Xenothreat mission, when
Mm-hmm.
the javelin would
Pop in on itself.
pop in on itself, because the javelin before that was blown up or busted or something like that, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't move, and so the new javelin would try to spawn in that same location and cause
Right.
a lot of mayhem.
Right. Which is it's funny when you think about it, but
Yeah, it is.
oh my god. Okay. Um let's see. Salvage hull scraping. The Carrick sections of the hull show as valid, but do not allow salvage. Some only salvage when beams are offset. Some show as valid, but do not allow salvage. Now that's been there for a bit.
It has.
And salvaging. Some ship wreckages erroneously give no material text and do not let you salvage. True. Now this is hurtful. Uh, Cargo performance. Fully loaded C2 landed at Area 18 results in slow frame rates or crash. That's hurtful. I'm going to say it. That's my baby. Y'all got to fix it. Okay?
At Area 18 too. Jesus, the
Yeah,
one safe haven.
right. Vehicles. IFCS. When flying near another ship seems to hit an
Mm-hmm.
invisible box that kicks it into random
Yeah,
directions.
I have come across this plenty of times.
Uh, Cargo performance. High capacity cargo vessels, when loaded, can cause a severe performance drop on both client and server. That's a big one for the cargo refactor. That one's got to be fixed. Um, Actor feature law respawn. If a player is placed into Crusher after being rescued, with a crime stat, the player is respawned the facility still
Mm-hmm.
incapacitated.
Another one that I have run into.
Um, Reach and steal. Design missions locations. The target reclaimer October Rising will disappear when you get very close to it, making the mission impossible. Okay. Ship commodity trading cargo inventory. Selling some of the cargo while in the vehicle is stored can cause the cargo to show at max inventory capacity. I have run into this where I would fly the C2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would pick up some scrap, right? On my first cargo run, take it, sell it, then go to another place and it's still showing the cargo in the ship and I can't load it. So one day I did it and it still did the same problem. I took it back to Area 18, right?
Right.
Went to the kiosk and tried this. Pardon me. How rude. How rude. Anyway, got there, went to the kiosk and was going to see if it disappeared. And sure enough, at Area 18 it was showing empty and I could put scrap back on the ship.
Hmm.
It was weird.
Okay.
Um, Selling commodity kiosk cargo. Large amounts of cargo sold at once will cause the transaction to fail the cargo and will be taken and no money will
Oh
be granted.
Lord.
That's not good.
Nope. All of these are pretty big issues,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's really concerning that 80% of these, like, they've been around since before 318, and
Mm, mm-hmm.
like, they're still not fixed. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones that started when 318 started off in the PTU still aren't fixed. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very concerning.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. We've got uh oh law and criminality, commodities, cargo. Stolen cargo does not behave as such and can be sold as legal cargo if the ship with the cargo is stored. Interesting. Ship's cockpit. Actor animations. Occasionally unable to exit ship seat. That's still an issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's been
I
there for a bit.
came
That's
across
been there
that
for a bit.
in the reclaimer. That was a big
Yeah.
reason why I stopped streaming the PTU recently. That was
Mm-hmm.
one of the
Mm-hmm.
issues that I would come across a lot
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of streaming, and I'd have to completely reset the game, and it would still happen. Like,
Wow.
so, yeah.
Let's see. Clusher locations loading. Infinite black screen on loading into Crusher. Clusher.
Ooh, I
Uh,
haven't come across that yet.
Locations transit elevators. Players can fall through elevators. The silent assassins strike again.
That's
I'm just
back.
gonna
See,
say it.
this is something they fixed at least twice within
Yeah.
318, and they are back now apparently.
Yep. Lifetime management. Sustenance. Items are not destroyed, cleaned up to the persistence limit when in a vehicle after streaming the area out for 60 minutes. Okay. That's the automatic janitor.
Yeah.
It's not cleaning up. Rest stops. Rundown station. Design transit location. The player is unable to call elevator from hangar interiors.
Mm-hmm.
I that's the one that I get hit with a lot.
We all
And
do.
I have to log out, and luckily I'm at the station. I have to log out and I come back up in the hab. and I have to go all the way around to get the ship. Yeah.
Yeah, usually what I just do to get around that is I just go to a different station, and usually I'll after one or two I'll find one that works.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's usually the same ones. I don't remember exactly which ones aren't working.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, I ran into a bunch of them when
I have too, but
the patch came down where none of the elevators were working all night, and they had to throw out a hot fix to fix them. I went out to different stations, and there's like four of them that I had to log out and log back in.
all right. Ken
So
says he's got to get going. Thanks for stopping by, man. I hope we got to um, cover some of the stuff that you wanted to see. So
yeah, have a good one,
yeah,
Ken.
have a good one, man.
Um, okay. Docking. A retrieved ship delivered to a docking port will be missing collision. And then the ASOP terminals, when storing the ship, the ASOP terminal will set the ship's status to claim instead of retrieve. Yes, I've run into that. So that's it. Those are the known issues, and
Yeah.
a lot of those have been there since 318 went to PTU
Yep. We'll
for
see.
wave one.
We'll see. We'll see how. Yeah. See, reading this now and saying that a lot of the same stuff is still there for known issues. It's definitely
Mhm.
making it feel like 318 isn't going to all backers until like April or something. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's not looking good, but it
But
is what it is. They're focusing on it, and I like that they're taking some of the 319 features and kind of bringing it forward a
Mhm.
little bit. That we're still going to get it in the intended time.
Mhm. But you know, I'd rather them bake it and cook it as long as they possibly can. I'd rather them do this than throw it out there and be a hunk of junk.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I think I think the longer that this patch kind of sits, along with all these really hard bugs that's going on right now that they can't solve, that's just going to stack up along with all the things that they're adding to 318. Because a lot of that new stuff, there's gonna those new missions, if they're bugged, it's just gonna be one more thing on top of all this other
Mhm.
stuff they got to figure out. So,
Agreed. Agreed.
but yeah,
But I look at it like this: if they work on this, right, and they put those in there, right, now they'll find out what's going on before they release it. I'd rather them do it this way than throw out something out there and they don't work.
yeah, yeah. People need to be able to enjoy this patch.
Right. I wrote on Spectrum about this, but CIG is trying to tackle cleaning up the servers with all the PS is showing us. So why not, instead of using the trash can idea, we take contracts outside of the halves where they lend us an incinerator sticks or something to zap trash around the landing zones as we go about our
Well,
errands.
I was talking to Shadow about this a while back, but if you guys look around Orson, you're gonna see like these Roombas that are gonna be charging underneath desks. I'm sure some of you've seen it.
Right.
Um, I think those things should be zooming around,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like whenever they manage to get, because it would use the AI nav mesh to be able to get around, right?
Yeah.
Um, they obviously got to make the AI nav mesh a little bit better. But once they do, I think they could totally have those little Roombas. If you're gonna have them just sitting there, they might as well go do something. So
Mm-hmm.
have them go around, and kind of know where a lot of the stuff that's kind of the trash is laying around that needs to get picked up. Go over there and run them over. Suck them up.
Yeah. Fine. Roomba it is.
I'm saying for like, you know, you could have that along with other things. Like you could still have the missions, like the janitor missions. I know there's a lot of people that don't want that in the game, but I
Yeah.
mean, you don't have to do them. You really don't. You know,
Right.
you could just. There's gonna be some weirdos out there who really just want to go pick up trash and play the game and relax.
Right. Right.
Not saying you're a weirdo, Explosion, because I'd probably end up doing it too. I'd be one of those weirdos.
It'd make it fun for a mindless mini game as you go around about your day.
And you'd make
Because
some money.
admit it,
It'd probably be minimum wage. It'd probably be minimum
nobody
wage, though.
is gonna play Space Janitor Simulator.
Oh my God, that's true. That's true.
Oh, he says no offense taken.
Oh, good. Good. Man. Well,
But that's everything, man. That's
yeah.
what's going on, and got to patch up. I'm gonna get into the PU, do a few things, and then I'm gonna see what's going on in the PTU. So
Yeah.
I'm all good.
We've been reading this for over an hour now, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I hope you guys got something out of this. Please like and subscribe, and we're gonna do more of these in the future. I enjoy sitting here talking about it. If you enjoy, coming in the chat and talking with me and Shadow, we do have a podcast with other guests as well called the Snowbirds Meeting Room, which is in the link in the description below. We have them every Monday or Tuesday, so once a week. And we usually go over what's relevant in Star Citizen news for the week prior. So come join us for that.
We've got ISC coming, and we've got SCO coming this week.
Yeah.
So, and Coremore, I believe, is going to kick off on tomorrow.
Yeah. And we did, they did show that the vehicle of the month is the Banu Defender. And they did show off the armors.
The subscriber
flare armors, yeah. And they, they are pink. But as far as pink armor goes, they're tasteful, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so
they're not garish or ugly. Cool.
Okay, so they want to recap. So
yeah,
we can kind of summarize some stuff here. Essentially, they're taking a lot of right here in the release view. They're taking these from 319 and they're going to be putting it in 318, like 318.1 before Invictus, right before Invictus. And
yeah, but there's no 318.1. It's going to be named 3.
Right. Yeah. I keep having it in my mind that they're still doing that, but it's still going to be 318. They're extending 318 for another quarter, essentially. So,
but they're going to number it 319.
Right. But it's still going to be 318 branch. Or content from the 318 branch. But essentially, we're not seeing any delays they didn't announce any delays yet for anything from the 319 that was originally supposed to be in there or what they're shooting for. But that's it. So you got the Lorville Cityscape. There's a 30-minute new player experience that's going to be happening on, it looks like only Area 18 and Bikini Point for its first implementation. And they still haven't talked about what that means yet as far as the new player experience. How much of the beginning of you getting the game is going to be new player experience. New missions, salvage contracts. If you guys want to know more about the salvage contracts, we talk about it more in depth on our last podcast that we did on the Snowbirds Meeting Room. And also you can check out the Star Citizen Live that happened last Friday. They go into it with better detail than us probably. Something that we didn't know about that's new is the Ghost Hollow PvP missions right here. So it's a little confusing on what exactly it's going to entail because it's going to include AI nav mesh and people essentially fighting over these terminals to get credit payouts. So we'll have to
Well,
see them CIG come out and talk about that a little bit more.
yeah. Evacuated space. So no new PU stuff? Yes. Those what you see in the release view for 319 is new. Okay, salvage contracts, Ghost Hollow PvP mission, new player experience, and the Loreville cityscape. So yeah, the PU it's getting its stuff. It's just they're taking 319. They're taking 319 is going to be, well, actually 318 is going to be renamed to 319. There is no um 318-1.
319 is essentially going to be everything that 318 is, and they're just going to throw in some little things here and there.
Right.
So 319 was never supposed to be really, a game-changing patch. It was only going to be some new things here and there, like new missions and stuff. So,
Yeah.
they talked about the Loreville Cityscape making it 319. So yeah, 319 is probably going to extend through most of the year, and they're probably just going to add some little tiny things here and there. You can expect probably a lot more ships with each sail that we go past.
Yeah.
But
Because
nothing
I
too crazy.
definitely, right, but I definitely see, like we've talked about, I definitely see the SRV coming soon. It's close to completion. So they just have to get those tractor beams working, and be uh that's gonna be a beneficial ship.
Some other stuff, if you're taking if you're taking in consideration the letter for the chairman, take it loosely. But hopefully
Yeah.
we'll see some of the bigger things that they talked about in there and what they want in 319, like bounty hunting version, next version of bounty hunting, and then
Mm-hmm.
I got so much going on in the background. It's hard for me to think. Um, Bounty hunting, and then what else is there that they talked about? The cargo refactor improvements as well, other iterations of that. So if we can get that, and we can get tractor beams in along with the Hull C. Hull C should be coming. They did say Hull C should be coming in the next sale, so that's something to look out for too, guys. Hopefully, it will be releasing because it is done for Invictus.
Excuse me. Are you subscriber?
So I can bring it up here. I can show you. If you are a subscriber, or your concierge or your Evocati, I just got a new launcher update. Might as well install that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen. It'll pop up here. Anyways, right here you click on live and you get this PTU option right here. And obviously I need to update.
Your mic audio got a little distorted.
Yeah, it's because I initiated the launcher update in the middle of everything. So, looks like I need to update my live too.
Yeah, that
Anyways.
came out the other day. But if you're a subscriber or concierge, you will automatically get wave 1. We're in wave 2 now. You don't have to go onto the website first. If you have to apply to get the PTU. So you have to put in, yes, I want to test, and they will send you email and all that good stuff, and then you can set it up.
But yeah, does anybody else have any questions before we go ahead and close the stream? So we did the recap.
Where is the test? Uh, go to your account, go to settings, and you should see public test public test universe. It should be highlighted in yellow, and that's where you can request to get the PTU.
So I will show you, but I'm going to switch OBS scenes here, and you're going to see a Hogwarts Legacy logo because I've been playing that and streaming it lately. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'll switch it over. But I just essentially don't want you guys to see my password as I log in. So give me 1 second here. I'll log in for you guys. And then I'll show you where to go. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Back. Okay. You're going to go to accounts, settings.
Oh,
Right
you're
here.
gonna love it. If you love Harry Potter, you're gonna love Hogwarts Legacy.
So right here. This is where the PTU, you'll have this open for you. That's essentially what you're going to do. Been wanting to try Legacy. Is it any good? Looks sweet.
Yeah.
Me and Shadow have been grinding out Hogwarts Legacy. We've both been streaming it. So if you guys want to watch us stream it at all, I stream it on my other channel called PTS, which is also in the link in the description below. And then there is also Shadow Spectre 11, his channel. He streams it as well. So
Yeah, I'm gonna stream it on Sunday from the beginning, so a fresh character and start fresh. So
it is. I will say it is exactly what I think fans have been wanting. There is little to no bugs with the game. Whatever bugs is there is very minimal.
yeah,
Nothing too crazy. Nothing that takes you out of the game or anything. And
Right.
Yeah, it's a blast. The combat is great.
yes, I'm playing on PC and Joe is playing on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I'm gonna say this: the graphics on the PC are freaking amazing.
The
With the
PC version looks
DLSS is amazing.
PC version looks insanely better than console version. I'll say that right now, but that doesn't mean that the console versions look bad. They look great too. So
Yeah,
but I have both copies. I have one for PC, one for PlayStation 5, so that way me and my girlfriend can play. And I tried the one on PC. It looks so good. Yeah.
And you've got a higher end system than I do.
I do.
So.
I keep in mind I do have a crazy, spec'd out system. So, but yeah, check those out. It's either you can check both of them out or one of ours. But yeah, it's all good stuff. But I think with that we'll go ahead and end the stream for that. I have to do some adult stuff still too.
Yeah.
So.
I have to go and check on Mr. Shadow. So, like I say, Sunday is Hogwarts Legacy Day on my channel, so that's when I'll be doing the full full gameplay,
and
start to finish.
I'll be streaming it at least one stream a day for Hogwarts, and I'm also playing Freelancer as well. I stream that on this channel, so I will be playing that tomorrow. I believe it's like part 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah.
But all right, guys.
Alrighty.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and I hope you guys got the information you guys were looking for. I hope we covered some of your questions. Definitely feel free to check our other channels out. They are in the description below. If Shadow Spectre's 11 channel isn't in the description already, I will add that. And yeah, I hope you guys have the good rest of your day. and we'll see you next time.
Alrighty,
Take
everybody
care.
take care.